My name is Rasheena Phinisee. I am a breast cancer survivor. I am also the founder of Asaya's Liver Fund and a podcast called Our Black Bodies. Thriving means a lot of things to me. Thriving is a motivational tool for activating my community specifically. Thriving is showing that you can fail and still be successful. Thriving is also waking up daily and doing my part as a active person in my community to ensure the prosperity of my future and the futures of others around me. The experiences that led me to advocacy were those beyond my control. If you'd have asked me 10 years ago where I expected my life to be today, it would not have been this ever. But when I was 23, I gave birth to my daughter, Asaya, and she suffered some medical injuries that resulted in a need for 2 liver transplants. That journey started my dive into medical research, clinical research, as well as just advocacy from a parent perspective. In doing that, I had an arsenal of tools, a wealth of knowledge that led me to curate books, found my nonprofit organization, and just lead my community by example through the experiences of what I went through. So advocacy became literally ingrained in my entire being. There were a lot of traumas in going through my advocacy journey with my daughter. Feeling seen and heard was a big portion of why I became such a fierce advocate, because I found often that, I would identify or see things occurring in real time. And when I would speak on those things, because there was no respect for myself, either as a woman or a Black woman or as a young mother, I wasn't taken seriously. So a lot of times I had to take extreme measures to get or receive the type of treatment and care that I desired for my child at that time. And those extreme measures could be simply taking her from one facility to another to seek second opinions, third opinions, fourth opinions if necessary, withdrawing medications that I knew were culprits of causing symptoms or injuries, being heard and seen and living through those traumas at those times were difficult. But what I found was through the journey of chronic illness, no matter what that illness is, mental health is very important. So seeking supportive services from therapists to get through those journeys, to process those things so that we can come out on the other end as a healthier us was a big part of my experience. So initially, when I went through the journey with Asaya, I really felt like that journey was for a calling on us to produce something in our community that was necessary at that time. But coming out on the other end of breast cancer made me realize that the journey was really personally for me. It prepared me to stand up strong and firm against stage 3 breast cancer, right? My experience through that was unique because not only was I stage 3 breast cancer, but I didn't respond to the standard of care. So the treatments that were prescribed to me, my cancer was growing during that process. And some of the same tactics and tools that I had to utilize while caring for and advocating for Asaya, I had to use in my own circumstances. And when your life is on the line, you experience a totally different kind of attitude and force when it comes to knowing that you need to be here for other small people that you have, but also that your life can make a significant impact and change for other women like you. So not responding to the standard of care led me to a place where I had to figure out what my treatment options were. And for me, that was clinical trials. And because historically, the things that we've experienced in our community as it relates to medical research, there's a lot of reluctance from our community and women like myself to take those leaps and bounds. So I wanted to lead by example in showing women what informed consent looks like and showing women what our participation looks like, and also showing them what the outcomes look like when we do it right. It is important for Black women to be involved in clinical trials because if we do not participate, the advancements in medicine will not benefit us. So if there's a drug being developed and it's more effective in other communities, but it's not being tested in ours, we run into situations like myself where you have a cancer type that's familiar to other populations and groups, but it's not responding to the standard of care. So then we start looking at mortality rates. And when we begin looking at mortality rates, we start to realize that Black women are not living as long. And we're not living as long because we don't have as effective treatments. So our participation in the clinical research process is imperative to our survival. My cancer diagnosis and journey transformed me in the sense of I wake up every day looking forward to life. There's no struggle or any battle that I feel as though is too big to overcome. And with that zest for life, it makes me more creative. I show up more authentically as myself. I seek out other people who are thriving and striving through circumstances that are unconventional. I was happy to come out on the other side and understand and know that the reinvention of myself after that journey could be something that was flawless and easy. And it has, in the sense of the doors that it has opened for me, the opportunities that it has created for me and my family, and the mother that I've become to my children. Being able to show up and be there just every day with the breath of life for my children is so much more meaningful for me now. So if I had to recommend a resource, there's this wonderful sister that I met through my journey. She has a nonprofit called Tracy's Bio, and she's curated a series of books where she's shared literally hundreds of women's stories, Black women's stories through breast cancer. And the wealth of information and knowledge contained in those pages are just priceless. It's something that you can't get from anywhere else. So the work that she's doing to really impact our community and to make available pertinent resources and information it's just fulfilling for our community. If we talk in terms of initiatives, my journey itself put me in a place where I felt as though there was something that I needed to give back from my experience. Stage 3 cancer is not an easy diagnosis. We're talking 18 months of treatments. 18 months includes 23 cycles of chemotherapy, 25 rounds of radiation, and a right breast mastectomy. It leaves you at a place where there is devastation, right? And in order to deter another woman from having to experience that devastation, my goal has been to curate a awareness or events that raise awareness centered around early detection, centered around funding research for Black women. So I created and found something called the Pink Ball, where it is a celebratory celebration, but it highlights the impact of cancer throughout our community. So, for example, when I say that, the makeup artist that has sponsored our event, her mother passed from cancer. The wine company that has sponsored our event, her mother passed from cancer. The speaker that will be present at our event, she's a 2-time breast cancer survivor, but she lost her mother to cancer. So it's just the sense of bringing together this community of people who have been touched and impacted by it, so that we can impress upon other women, both young and old, the importance of early detection in preserving Black lives. It would be early detection saves lives. It would be talk to your provider about mammograms, even though the FDA says that 40 years old is the time frame that it should start. I know women 19 and 20 years old being diagnosed with breast cancer. And the thing is if you feel a lump, you're probably already more advanced than you would like to be. So seeking medical care early on for the detection of breast cancer is an imperative part of making sure that we survive. So what I would like for them to take away from the event is get your mammogram while you're here or go home and schedule yours. I am Rasheena Phinisee, a breast cancer survivor, and I am fighting breast cancer for all of the future women who will benefit from early detection.
guess what, guys? It's a wrap.